guys. Welcome to Gamers Down Under. This is episode 14. Just get in there before Steve asks me the big question of what number it is. I'm Larman, and
I am Steve.
Excellent. So, Steve, how's your week been gaming-wise? Let's hear the big news about your gaming history.
Gaming-wise, I wish I could actually say I'd done more than what I have, but I didn't, actually. Disappointingly, not disappointingly, I guess. I did do a lot of dad stuff, but nowhere near as much gaming as what I would have liked to do. But it is what it is. Still, I haven't gotten to do anywhere near as much back catalogue playing as I would like. I have done. I won't give a 15-minute long spiel this week to say
I was waiting for the 15 minutes
that I didn't play. That I didn't play Fire Emblem. This time I'll give you only a 30-second rant and say I did play Fire Emblem.
How long? Tell me more.
I've probably put on, I reckon, 3 hours, 4 hours in the week.
What's the percentage-wise?
Of how far along I am in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. If it's true to a JRPG, I'd be absolutely stuffle. It's a lot different than its counterparts, to the point because it was always a 3DS game, like as deep story and lore and everything like you could. Well, sorry, that's a lie. Obviously, it wasn't always a 3DS game. It was Nintendo and then Super Nintendo, I think. But for the last couple of years, a couple of iterations, it's been on the 3DS. So it was as deep as a game could be on there. But now it's massive. Like and it's a whole different type of mechanics. Like you're a teacher, you have to actually, and this is why I'm actually struggling to get into the game, because it's not like it used to be where you could just pick it up, play one mission, put it back down. It's like I got to actually. That was you making sound effects, boy.
No, it was not.
What was that sound?
It was not from my neck of the woods.
That was you
There's
again.
nothing in here.
What's this?
I don't know.
Anyway. I don't know. It's hard. I have to actually talk to the. That's you anyway. I wonder how long I'm going to fall for that for.
I don't know. This is episode 14, so I'm kind of hoping to at least get to 30.
30?
Well,
oh, wait. Yeah. I'll know by next time.
Oh, we'll see.
Mark my words. But yeah.
You said it was going to be a 30-second discussion. It's gone on to about 5 minutes. I zoned off a couple of times.
I'm back.
Come back in and you're still talking.
I want to talk about it. It's very difficult to get into, not because of the actual gameplay. The gameplay is awesome. It is solely for the how deep it seems to be. Like, I have to actually walk around, I talk to the students, I got to learn what their pros and cons are, all of that kind of stuff, and then teach in class. Because if I don't do any of that, then it's like you lose points and you might not teach them properly, and you got to run all around the campus and try to find little bits and pieces. And anyone who's listening, heavily recommend it for Switch. Like, I got it for what, $69 from Price Match EB Games. Perfect. Like, for $69, I'm maybe 5 hours in, and I can foresee myself having another 50 hours.
Okay, fair enough. So that was it?
No, that's on the Switch, and then obviously I've still been doing a bit of Overwatch. I want to get to level 25 so I can then go competitive play.
Okay.
But that's, other than that, mobile gaming. I've been disgustingly playing that. Remember I talked about that town builder? It's I've spent $22 so far on frickin'
on a house.
And it's literally pointless. It's so easy. It's so addictive. It's right there. You just
Yeah.
$3.
That's the hard thing with mobile gaming. That's it. It's 99 cents. Who cares, man? I can afford that. Ding, 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 ding. Whee! I got a bill of $60. What the?
Yep.
Yeah. No. I really try and stay off the mobile games. I play Pokemon Go sporadically. Not even. I used to play it daily. I was level 39. I didn't even get to 40. The cap was 40, and I couldn't even get there. But yeah, no. I got the 151 Pokemon. I'm happy. I moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that was it. That's all you did for the whole week. Mate, this is a gaming podcast and you can't play games.
What do you mean? I still put, 7 days I put in probably 10 hours worth of gaming. That's mixed on with work, dad life, everything else.
Makes the dad life sound so hard. I've dad life too, mate. But I've been sick and I haven't been actually working, so that's why I've played a lot more games. So would you like me to go through my games for this week?
Might as well.
All right. So I'm changing my name. It's no longer Larman anymore. It's Mr. VR for a starters, but that will come into the conversation a bit later. So Assassin's Creed on Xbox One. I've played nothing since the other week. I've dumped it.
You mean Black Flag or?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so Black Flag, it's still sitting at 26%. I've dumped it. I've moved on to greener pastures.
Why?
I think it's all about VR. VR has sold me at the moment. I'm loving everything VR. So Arc Park, I was playing that. I'm quite heavily into that. I'm up to, I think, 30% of all the trophies. There's not many trophies to get. I really hope they do expand on it and make it a bit more like actual Arc was, rather than how it is on there. I know it's very limited with the technology for the whole VR experience, but it looks and the gameplay could be actually quite good if they just played it around with it a little bit more. I was playing Wipeout Omega Collection. So that's on the PlayStation Plus store. You get that for free for this month. You can play it VR or you can play it normal. I've had my mum, my dad, my partner, my daughter all playing this one game. It's quite funny when you get the parents on there and they're sitting there getting scared about you turning corners with Wipeout. You say, hang on, wait, don't do that. You can't drive, and then you're in trouble. Another game I was playing was Sniper Elite 4. That's the first mission. Mate, what a gruesome game. Like, you shoot some guy in the eye and you literally see the bullet go out of your gun, go really, really slow, go into his eye, back down his spine, and then come out the shoulder. And you actually see the bones breaking as it hits.
Yeah. They used to have it at Time Zone, Intensity, stuff like that. And they had the big sniper rifle and everything. Yeah.
Well, it's very gruesome.
You can shoot people in the nuts.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I always go for the headshot and eye shot for some reason. I don't know. Star Trek Crew Command.
That's the VR one.
Yeah, it's another VR one. Now this one, I think it will be a good game personally, but the learning curve on it is going to be so hard to actually learn how to play the game to actually get to enjoy it.
Yeah. Because that's very similar to what I was saying about Fire Emblem, I guess.
Like I still reckon it'll probably be a small game compared to like Fire Emblem and things like that. But like to learn, like if you're the captain of the starship, you're actually delegating orders out, and you can't just say, "Hey, you go warp me here." You've got to tell this person to put the engines up. You got to tell the other person to do something else, and then tell everybody to do something when you just before you warp. So it's going to be quite a big game. More VR experiences I've done. So the Vicky Safari, that was pretty cool.
Vicky Safari, what's that?
Yeah, it's sort of like you have, it's in Africa. They have these live camera, well, not live cameras, but they've got these cameras and you can throw down a piece of meat and you can see the tiger come up and it looks like it's coming right at you and things like that. So it looks good, but again, it's just an experience. So once you've done it, you kind of can't really repeat it. Same with David Attenborough's Great Barrier Reef. You know what? Watching that, like you hear David Attenborough, you're like, oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be really serene. The scenery is going to be fantastic, blah, blah, blah. And then I reckon they picked the worst part of our reef. in that
Oh,
VR
really?
experience. No colours, no nothing. It was so dull, and I'm just like, well, if I'd paid to do this dive with him, I would have been really disappointed.
That's probably because the reef is slowly getting destroyed by all the scumbag corporations of the planet now. Supposed to be
I
a
just reckon it's the
wonder of the world.
Queenslanders. Yeah, I just think it's the Queenslanders that are destroying it personally.
The
Selling their
Queensland
souls.
state government has been fighting Adani mine for years.
Oh, really?
Federal signed off on it a long time ago. And actually, mysteriously, just before, I don't want to get into a political debate, but just before the last politician went for the federal election, he mysteriously signed off on the last piece of paper required the day before the election. That they were
That'd be right.
they were that nervous about the vote going whichever way, so they signed off on it, and there's no step back. So yeah, and they're pumping 1 million litres worth of used water into the reef a day when it gets up and running.
Oh, beautiful. So that will really help the pictures. So, but that was the only thing with the David Attenborough thing. I think they could have used a different part of the reef.
Yeah.
The Playroom VR, Apollo 11 VR, the Grand Museum VR, Spider-Man Homecoming experience. That was quite fun. You actually use the move controllers and you're shooting off web slings. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I sort of done that on my own. I just used my hands and I was shooting web around the bedroom.
See, now I'm very worried about where you're going to go with this, and I'm just going to stop it there. Oh, no. And then Titanic VR. Yeah, I didn't think you would be. I think Sheila was running away, yeah?
Titanic VR.
Yeah.
Did you get the missus stand in front of you? Hold me, Jack. Hold me.
No. So this is... Well, apparently there is parts in the game where you can go actually onto the Titanic ship itself, but the part that I was playing was actually going down to the bottom of the ocean and actually seeing the wreck. And like with Titanic the movie, you can get the little RV and you can drive it in and see all the decay and all that, which looked pretty cool. But I don't know, for a VR experience, you kind of want the whole 360 view. Yep. And when you're in the sub going down to the Titanic, it's only like a little porthole. So you're looking through that and you're like, oh, yeah, I can see something. But yeah. So I had a lot of games this week.
I have to ask, you rattled off
1, 2, 3, 4.
10 games probably in
12.
12 games in 7 days.
Yep.
Now, while I rattled off 2 in 7 days, how many hours do you think you actually put in?
So Ark Park, I would have put at least 6 hours. Wipeout Connection was last 2. Sniper Elite was 1. Star Trek was 2. Safari, we'll say half an hour. Great Barrier Reef, an hour. Playroom, about 3 hours. Apollo 11, 1 hour. Maybe half an hour. No, an hour. Grand Museum, 15 minutes. Spider-Man, that was about an hour. And Titanic was about an hour as well. So quite a bit of hours.
So
but again, I'm not working because I'm still sick.
Yeah. So you were mocking me before.
Yeah.
About not doing enough. And you probably rattled off maybe 15, 16 hours maximum just then. And you're not working.
Sick. I am sick.
Oh, darling. Darling.
Mate. See, I can never win. I bet him on the games. And then he goes, but you only did that many. He's still never happy, this guy.
You put 6 hours in while I done 50 hours more of work. So please tell me.
Was that 50 hours or 50 minutes? I just want to clarify.
50 hours. Well, I still, even 50 minutes, still done more work than you.
But no. Yeah, so that was my gaming week. It was very VR intensive. I don't know if you can do a lot of VR consecutively as well. I think you do have to stop. I don't think you can sit there and play it for 6 hours just on the VR.
Yeah. Well, when they first
getting headaches.
When they first came out, that was that's a lie. Not when they first came out. They came out many years ago. But for a long time now, they've been trying to work out the seasickness, the motion sickness in it. Because I was reading into it because I wanted to get it. Obviously, I'm an electrician by trade, and I wanted to get into electrical engineering, more of that side of things. Literally, a conversation at maybe 18 years old, might have had one or two too many alcoholic beverages, and just started talking about concepts and ideas with a bunch of mates who are also gamers, and we just rattled it off for hours and hours. The next morning I woke up feeling like death and was like, you know what? I am so keen on what we talked about, and I just sat there and I wrote and wrote and wrote, and I drew it all up in this magazine, and it was like a backpack system. And you had cords coming from the backpack, and you had like an AK-47, 2 pistols, some grenades, stuff like that. And I was like, well, how do I possibly do this? How do I take it to the next level? And I tried researching it, and it was just Australia was too far behind. It was too difficult to get into that sort of conceptual ideas. Like, there was little bits and pieces, but not in that side of the market. Like, over in America, there was a hell of a lot more. And like, obviously you can see that's like Apple and all that. They all come from pretty close to the same areas because everyone's bouncing ideas. And I just let it fizzle off. But I remember researching into the virtual reality because I was obsessed with it. And they were like, oh, you need ambient lighting. That's why some people throw up. They're getting seasickness, and they just couldn't work out why. Some people were fine with it. Some others would wear it for 15, 20 minutes and boom, off they'd go. And talking about
See,
how
I can wear it. I don't have an issue wearing it. It just, at the end, your eyes get tired, I find. I think
Yeah.
that's because of the lights and how your eyes are dealing with the lights coming from the headset itself. And I reckon it's fantastic. As I said, like, out of all those games, 90% of them were VR experiences. So I think personally the VR market isn't as strong over here as well.
Yes.
I don't know if that's about the price point where they've come into the market, because you got to buy the PlayStation 4, then you've got to buy the headset for the VR, then you got to buy the Move controllers. So there is an expense there I don't think that people can afford. Maybe.
I don't know. I thought about that. Like, obviously every year at E3, the gaming magazines always talk about E3, and nearly every year they're always talking about how VR dropped the ball again. And they just, you're right with the costing. I don't believe it's that you can't afford it. I just believe it's not worth it. Like, if you look at the VRs on some gaming, like PC rigs, they're a hell of a lot more fine-tuned. They're better.
Okay, but if you're talking about the gaming ones on the PC, so for an entry level into the market, or the one that you're talking about now, how much would it cost to buy the PC, to buy the VR?
But you're not buying the PC for the VR. You already own it.
Yeah, but I haven't got the PC. So.
Yeah, oh yeah. See, that's the thing. Most PC master race obviously already own the PC. So,
yeah, that's right.
And most people with the PlayStation, obviously, like PlayStation VR, they already own the PlayStation. Like, not many people ever go out and say, you know what, I'm going to build this $2,000 PC for VR. Or they say, oh, I'm going to go out and buy this $400 PlayStation for this VR. So it's normally as an add-on. So then you look at the bang for buck, the add-on of PS4 plus the cost just isn't really worth it for me. Like, I've got the money, I can afford the game. I just don't know.
Yeah, look, it's really hard with the VR when you're playing the VR. So, like with Arc Park, there's 2 different functions that you can use for moving around the map. You can use one like a teleport, so it's where your head lines up. There's a little blue circle, and you press and you teleport over there. Or you can do another setting, which I actually don't like, because you actually hold the button and then you move your head and you're constantly moving straight. But if you move your head right, then you turn to the right.
Yeah.
I just think that side of the movement is very limited in the game. Like, even if you're doing like that shark dive on a VR, you can move around in your cage, not very far. Like, physically move, I'm talking.
Yeah, yep.
And I think that's probably the only letdown with the VR system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the rest of it, I find, as I said, I've played heaps of it because I'm enjoying it, and clearly because I'm buying all the bloody games. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't think, like, if I was going to go out and buy a PC to buy, like, I think it's the Oculus, is it?
Oh,
Oculus is another
there's
one.
many. There's Oculus Rift. There's the Vive.
Yeah, so there's quite a few different ones. But then, if I bought them, could I use them on my laptop that I'm using now?
No, I don't think so. Well, I'm not sure because Oculus, when I first looked into it, it was a very good concept. But then Facebook bought into it,
Okay.
and I never looked back.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure about it these days. But I know the Vive and stuff. You do need a pretty like
Heavy PC,
at least an entry level gaming rig. It's not just something at minimum kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so that's it for me for my lovely week of gaming and coughing up a lot.
Now you mentioned before. Actually, no, I wanted to have a quick talk. VR. Where do you think technology is going? You reckon it's gonna go VR, as in, I think a couple of podcasts ago we talked about one where you can stand on the treadmill and move around that way. And then you're talking about the Shark Tank where you can't really move much and all stuff like that. Do you reckon it'll go full immersive VR AR side of things, or do you reckon it might go Sword Art Online where it's all just purely brain waves and everything like that, like you're in the actual server as such? Like, which way do you reckon it's going to go?
I don't think you're going to be going that way. Not anytime soon. Definitely like Ready Player One, where you're on the treadmill, like you said, you're running around, you got the full 360 degrees to actually move around and interact in the environment. Definitely like that. Probably, I don't know. Places have already got things like that already. But for like the get-home gaming experience, I reckon maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I do agree with you. It's just difficult. Like, I've used ones with the treadmills and they're the 360 view. It's just not as... I went once. I'd probably go a handful of times, but for the cost, like, it would probably cost you $5,000 for that setup. I'd never do it. There is a place up here in Chermside now where have VR AR, so it's actually a laser skirmish place, but they've obviously configured all the walls into the computer program, and you've got your whole lens on and everything. So in your lens, all the walls look like spaceship walls, and you're running around in a spaceship shooting aliens, or your teammates will look like they're wearing astronaut gear and stuff like that. So maybe it'll go VR AR like that out in public places like that, like where laser skirmish and paintball.
Just think about it now, really. Like, when did the Nintendo come out? What year?
Oh, geez, what was it? 83 or something? I don't know.
Okay. 83 in Japan, and then 85 for everywhere else.
Boom! No way, really?
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So yeah, you're all right. So it was 83. Okay. So from 83 to 2019, we've got VR. How it is today. Well, that's a massive jump.
Are you forgetting Nintendo's VR?
Hey, don't even go there yet. That's coming later in the track. You're trying to get me in trouble. It's too early in the podcast. Mr. VR.
We're not talking about that one to the missus yet.
Oh, no way.
Let's hope that she doesn't listen to the podcast then, shall we?
No, I just say, would you like another cup of tea, dear? I'll do the washing for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
But no. So, yeah, look, I just think, like, that's 30 years. If you add another 30 years on, like, it'll have to be like that. It'll have to be Ready Player One, full immersive. You're jumping around. You're running around on this treadmill, whatever.
See, Ready Player One. I'm trying to think back. Wasn't it fully memory as well? Like, you're still. I can't remember.
You're physically there. You just put the suit on and it puts you in that thing.
But the problem is, how can we make the call? Like only 5 years ago, 10 years ago, there were developers saying, "Oh, we'll use phones." People are like, "Oh, you can't use phones for gaming." Blah blah blah. Now look at some of them. Like there's a phone I was looking at the other day, Red Magic 3 or something it's called. It's got water cooling in it. It's literally a more powerful phone. It's a more powerful computer than what I had when I was at school.
Yeah.
It's like,
How much the technology is changing every year. Like, it's just amazing anyway. So I really don't see, like, as you said, you got a phone now that was more powerful than your PC. Like,
yeah. Obviously, there are people out there who are like, "Oh, I've had a PC," that they spent $10,000 on that PC. I'm talking about me and you.
yeah. I spent $1,600 on my laptop and then I'm done. And that was just, yeah. All right, cool. So what was the next topic you'd like to talk about today?
Look, we've touched on mobile gaming. I'm done with mobile gaming. We've touched on a little bit of technology, like how we think technology is going to go. We've touched on your terrible VR collection that's not actually ready yet.
It is ready.
I don't believe so.
A little bit clunky, a little bit.
We'll agree to disagree on that. Look, the other one, actually, I wanted to talk about, while we're talking about, Nintendo 30 years old and this and that, and there's a couple of games, and last podcast we talked about Turok 1 and Turok 2 getting physical copy releases.
Yep.
I wanted to actually touch on how it feels like we're taking a step back in time lately. I've seen there are some places like Square Enix, they're releasing Final Fantasy VIII on Switch with a physical copy.
I really don't think you can go one episode without mentioning anything about Final Fantasy, unless it's Square Enix. They've got a chip in you. I'm becoming a conspiracy theorist here.
Maybe we're sponsored.
Yeah, no way.
I sponsor myself with all the Square Enix gear.
That's it.
And I don't like. We've carried on about it a couple of times. Like the retro cider in me, I used to love the physical case, the manual in it, the booklet in it. Nowadays, I do get the poops with, especially the Switch cases. Like at least the DS cases are half the size because their little cartridge is so small, but the Switch cases are nearly the same size as a PlayStation one, and the cartridge is still very small. And they don't come with manuals. No, so I'm like,
actually, there was one that did come with a map. What was that? I think Zelda.
Yeah, like there are collectors. Like you'd think maybe a base one, they'd at least cut it in half, but maybe, I don't know, we can sit here and talk about it. They might own the machines and the machines have a 10-year lifespan and that's the size of the case. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have a clue, really. No. But at the end of the day...
Yeah, but you do like the books and that with it. You do.
Undoubtedly. But like, if there is no books, there's no manual, there's no nothing, I believe the Switch cases at least should be smaller, and even the PlayStation cases. Remember PlayStation 1? The case was barely big enough to fit the disc in. If it was multiple disc, it just got thicker. It wasn't taller, it was just thicker. And you could open it up like Final Fantasy. Boom. You could peel that open. It had 3 discs. Final Fantasy VIII had 4 discs, and it looked epic. But nowadays, I'm like, oh man! And then all of a sudden,
it's getting smaller, but the boxes are getting bigger.
yeah. But then all of a sudden, Turok 1, Turok 2, coming out physical. Even though I haven't seen the concept art, I haven't seen where they're coming with manuals, I haven't seen any of that. I just know I'll have a cartridge with Turok 1 and Turok 2 on it to play. I'll put that in the collector's shelf. I'll put it in the glass cabinet. What was the other one I was talking? Collection of Mana. It's coming out. Boom. Physical. Comes out this Friday or something. Friday? No, actually, I can't remember. Sometime this month. And boom, I'll buy it. I guarantee you, I'll buy that. I'll put it in the shelf. I might not play it. The games, it's not that they haven't aged very well, but I have a lot of other favorite games of that era that I would play. So it's not like, even though I like them games, but I'd rather like Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. If I'm gonna go that era, I'll play Breath of Fire 2, Chrono Trigger before going Collection of Mana style. So, but yeah, it's just and then I shared one with you the other day. Pixel Crib, I think, is the website, and they're bringing out collector's edition books. Like, you can get a collector's edition book for Super Nintendo, and it's got every one of their games in it. And it's just a hard copy, and it's appealing to the collectors. I feel like I don't know. One half of the world is going digital, 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 and then the other half is like, hey, here's a little bit of physical.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And I enjoy it. So, but yeah, I don't know. Remasters, remakes, all that. Give it to me. Done.
Yeah.
I like literally. I'll finish my rant here. But so many of the Switch hasn't done it as much yet, but the 3DS, its online service, sorry, was actually pretty good. It had a lot of NES games and Super Nintendo games. If they just literally sold them physical copies, I would, for the Switch, say they just said, here's 1,810 games of Super Nintendo's library, I'd probably buy the thing. Like, it's just, even if it was whatever, 91, 92, 93, like all the years worth, I don't know how they could do it, but I would buy them. As a collector, I would buy them, and I'm have them sitting in my cupboard.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you get them in time, limited run.
Well, limited run is different. These ones are Square Enix and stuff.
The Square Enix ones, yeah.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy X, and it came out. It's still at EB Games.
Yeah.
So, all right. Talking about purchases, spontaneous purchases. Come on, let's go. Let's talk about.
All right, you can go first.
I nearly just bought $180 gaming book off of that Pixel Crib as we speak. Admittedly, it's Nintendo and Super Nintendo in one package. So it's got
cool.
It's got all the artwork in there, and the first 180, I think it is, $15. Yeah, then there's heaps on there. I should never have looked on it.
See, that's the mistake there. It's these phones, right? They make it too easy and accessible to buy things. I was looking on eBay the other day, just trolling the eBay marketplace, and I was looking at Mr. VR here, seeking the Nintendo Virtual Boy, which if people don't know, it was the first VR unit they made for Nintendo.
Yep.
3D, all that VR, but you're looking through it and it's just red and black. Actually, they could have done color, but they just went cheap on it for some reason. And the system was a flop. They've got 18 games for the whole collection. Well, they normally go for about $500-600. I put on there. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do it at $320. Oh no, yeah, $320. I'm like, yeah, why not? We'll see how it goes. Well, the time was ticking down, and I'm like, I'm going to get this. No, I'm not. No, someone's going to outbid me. Bugger it. I want it. And I'm like, no, just leave it. That's my cap. I'm capped out. And then I get an email. Congratulations. Well done.
You got it.
I did. And then the horror set in. How do I explain that my Nintendo Virtual Boy is a skin for my PlayStation VR? I can't say it's a Yoshi cover.
Yeah, you can do it.
It's a completely different system. The control's different.
Take it from me. I'll let you in on a certain little secret. Now, my My ex used to do it to me, so it's well renowned. I'd purchase something, get it in the box, make sure she's not home when you get it delivered, make sure, otherwise you're definitely busted.
Yeah.
And,
Well, that's the
and
part I don't know if I can make it.
well, and then I used to
Well,
go.
he doesn't
I'd
even give me any advice. He's like, "You're dead."
No, yeah, you're dead at that point. And then I would just grab the box and I'd quickly run it into the gaming room and I'd just hide it in there. I'll hide it in the cupboard, something like that. Couple of weeks later, because if I get it out a couple of days later, she's probably been in there. But if I leave it for a couple of weeks minimum, she would have seen it and then just thought nothing of it. And then I'd turn around and be like, you know what? Come on, babe. Let's clean out the cupboard this weekend. And I'd let her grab it first. I wouldn't do it. Don't touch it. Don't like
Don't
don't
touch it.
don't make eye contact with it, and just play very cool. Oh, what's in that one? Oh no, that's your stuff, babe. That was your shoes or something. Well, make sure you blame her for spending extra money. And then when she opens it, be like, "What the hell is this?" And you're like, "Oh, geez, I wondered where the hell that is. I got that ages ago. I haven't been able to play that for ages." And it normally works. But I can guarantee you, next time you go out drinking, she'll walk past you with a handbag, be like, "I've had this for ages."
I hear that all the time with, "Oh, yeah, I've had these pants on for ages." I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, well,
I've never seen them before, and my attention to detail is quite up there. It's quite heightened, and
yep, no. So yeah, they're doing it to us, so you might as well do it to them, mate.
yeah. Well, look, as I said, I don't think I'll be able to meet the postie. I think I'm pretty well dead for there. But and now, of course, because I've just bought the console, I'm like, oh, hang on, now I've got another problem. I've got no games to play on it. So I was looking at some of the games, and some of the games are like 100, 200, 300, because there was only 18 games released for the entire system.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See,
So,
for that many, yeah, for
or
that
it might be
many,
just the paperweight. I'm still deciding on that.
yeah.
But it comes in. It's come in the box. It's all packaged properly. It's a Japan console. It's not the US one. I'm more Australian, but it's fully packaged. The box looks good. So there is like a resale value there down the track if I want to sell it. But I think maybe I'll just use it as a paperweight and then see if I can get another cheaper one later down the track. And then say, "Oh yeah, this is the one from the box." So leave the box not there.
Yeah.
But no.
Aye.
So,
Oh well, so that's it, Mr. VR then.
mm.
Oh well, that's all right. Now I'm gonna have to see what else I can purchase on. I'll jump on eBay as we speak. Actually, no, I won't. I need to stay. I need to stay. Oh, I am. I'm typing it in. Why am I typing it in? I'm saying no.
But no. So yeah, that was yeah.
Oh, well.
So I like all the rest of the guys on our page. They gathered the support with me. They were laughing at me
Yep.
and saying, "Oh dear," I'm like, "Oh dear, I'm dead anyways.
Yep.
I'm sick. I haven't been working. Feeling like crap." But did you notice as well? Just to go back to the VR quickly, did you notice with those games I was talking about, there was no horror games in it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't mention any, did I?
No.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
I played one horror game on it. One. Don't even know what
Resident
it's
Evil?
called. No. No,
You should play
some guy with.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, no. It's just nah. So I'm all right watching scary movies. I don't really care. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play this, and just it was like a demo I could download. I'm like, yeah, I'll try it and see how it goes.
Yep.
You start off in this tunnel. And it's like a train station after the apocalypse. There's crap everywhere, and you're like, "Ugh." And then you have to walk around, and it's so slow. The walking, you're walking. You've only got this stupid flashlight. Of course, if you're in a post-apocalyptic world, what weapon of choice do you have? A flashlight. Woo! So I'm walking, and then I'm shining this flashlight everywhere, trying to see if something's going to pounce out, because I knew something was going to happen.
Oh.
And I literally turn the corner, and I see a shadow run across the screen. I'm like,
Yep.
oh!
Yep.
I'm like, I can see it. It's just run into this room, and I'm like, okay, so it's in that room. I know it's there. I'm going to go in. I'm going to be prepared.
Yep.
I walked up to the room. The door started to open, and I
Boom.
see a mask.
Ah.
Bang, the headset was off. I was out of that room. I was back in daylight. I'm like, no chance am I playing a scary game. So the PlayStation's really good. You press the PlayStation button in, you hold it in, and then you go close software. Bang, done. You don't see what happens next.
Yeah.
But I can't do scary on that. That's no.
Apparently, Resident Evil is hectic.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'll take your advice for that. I'm not actually going to play it. But no, I like the Resident Evil movies because there's a screen. I'm watching the screen, and the zombies are in that screen. But when you're here, and it's nah. I'll go back to my little Ark and build my Jurassic Park.
Yep, that's it. No, thank you.
All right. So what about new games coming out? We've got a couple coming out this month.
We actually, yeah, it feels like we've got some coming up. I'm not that pumped at the moment. Like, there's a couple of games coming up soon, and it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, there's none that I'm just like, oh man, I gotta get that. I don't care if it's a midnight release. I've just got to get it.
There is one that I've seen that looks pretty cool. Control. It's at the end of the month, the 27th of August. It's getting released to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It looks sick. You're using telekinesis to throw your enemies around. There's a really big, bad organization like there always is. And actually, it's very original here, called The Agency, who deal with paranormal things. It's called The Agency. Like, whoa, how did they come up with that? That's a masterpiece. But the gameplay and seeing like the telekinesis work and the fighting style looks pretty cool. So I reckon that one looks pretty good.
Okay, see, but
that's at the end of the month. So
yeah.
World of Warcraft Classic coming out on the 27th of August on PC.
Yep.
Are you going to give that a go?
I don't know. Truthfully, I played it back in the day. I heavily enjoyed it back in the day. Has it aged? Yeah. A lot of people are like, oh, vanilla World of Warcraft was the best World of Warcraft, etc., etc. But
see, I've never even heard of it being called vanilla before until we had that other podcast the other week.
Yeah.
They were saying vanilla, and I'm like, what is this vanilla? Now I want an ice cream. Like, you gotta stop talking to me about vanilla, man. I want that ice cream.
Yeah, it gets a bit that way, doesn't it?
That's it. But no. So other games coming out is Oninaki.
Oninaki. I'm playing the demo at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. How's it going?
It's all right. Yeah, it's not. I don't believe it's enough to win me over. Now that I've played the demo, I don't know. I don't think I'll buy it.
But it looked pretty good because of the summoning demons and swapping between worlds. What about the Blossom world and the real world?
Well, yeah, it's like you can just literally L2 and you go into the demon world and stuff like that.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I've got too many other games going on at the moment. It just couldn't win me over. But
too many other games that you only played one, well, maybe two this week. Too many other games. I love it.
That's what I'm doing. It's about quality, not quantity, see?
Oh, mate, it's always about quantity. It's how many times you can do it.
Beg your pardon? Playing games? Or
yeah, I don't know now. I got confused where I was going with that. No. Yeah, so you didn't like it. Okay, so I saw the preview.
Oh.
It looked okay. But
I never said I didn't. Anyway. What are you on about? I didn't say that I didn't like it. Calm your farm.
Mate, you always... Are you a politician? I think you should be a politician.
That I wouldn't buy it.
Okay. So that means you do not like it.
No.
It's just like a politician saying, I'm going to give you money for the bridge. And then after the election, I'm not going to give you money for the bridge. But the bridge is over there that you already got.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it's like if Switch games didn't hold their value so high, I'd buy it. But for the top dollar that you always have to pay for them, yeah.
The one surprising thing with Switch is their prices do hold. That was I've noticed.
I like it when the demos actually have transferable data.
Yep.
So that was one of the main reasons why I downloaded it. I was like, you know what? Square Enix is the publisher, not the I don't believe they're actually the developer. It was one of their studios, but they're the publisher. And I was like, you know what, stuff it. I'll get it just so I can. If I do buy it, I'll transfer my data over. And yeah, I don't. Yeah, I definitely. Sorry, I might buy it one day. I definitely won't get day one release. That's better.
No, okay. So,
You heard it.
it's
You
on,
heard it
on
here,
the cusp.
people.
Yeah, he'll buy it one day. So,
One day.
day
That's
before his
that's a
deathbed, he'll go, oh, yeah,
political answer.
that's it. What about Blair Witch, the game?
Nah, that was a crap movie, and I was
Released on PC, Xbox, and
crap movie, and it's gonna be a crap game.
It's not on PlayStation.
That's because PlayStation don't want crap on their console.
No, well, look, but for those, yeah, okay. I didn't like the movie,
See?
but this
Uh-oh.
story of the game continues on from after the movie, so maybe it might be better.
No, wrong.
It probably won't be.
Because you watch a turd go down the sewerage doesn't mean it's still not a turd.
It becomes a missile.
It ends up being a very watery turd.
Okay. Okay. The next one I'm actually a little bit excited about, and I think we've had the discussion maybe. Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
Ah, yeah,
One
like
of
the monkey.
creators of Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Okay, so it's got one thing going for it really good. It's got one of the creators from Assassin's Creed. I already love all the Assassin's Creed games. So the story of it is it's 10 million years ago. You're sort of like you're sort of like an export of human and ape in the world, growing and learning how to use your hands and use your tools. And it looks a lot like Assassin's Creed, like jumping around the mechanics of the game.
That's literally just like following you around for a day.
See, and that's why I'm on blood pressure tablets right there.
Watching you
one conversation with this guy, and I'm done.
hitting the
That's
kettle
why we're
with
gonna
a
do one
rock.
podcast a
How
week.
do I boil the water?
Just keep hitting it with the rock and you'll eventually get the hot water. Or actually, just put it in front of Steve and you'll have bloody instant hot water. The next game probably is Remnant from the Ashes. So it's an action survival shooter. Looks like sort of like Dark Souls, but a shooter version.
Yeah, I can't think of that one actually by memory.
Well, it's got really cool character designs. And it's the
Remnant of Ashes, isn't that the guy who?
Yeah, no. So that's one coming out. And that's coming out on the PC, PS4, and Xbox.
When is what's Borderlands coming out? I thought it was this month.
So Borderlands comes out on September the 13th. So it's actually next month. So you're a bit premature then, mate. And I bet you've heard that before.
Once or twice.
Once or twice. All right. Hey, what about Madden? Come on, man. You want to get amongst that. American sports game, football. It's coming out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Questionable.
What are you talking about? Who will play that?
I'm not a Madden kind of guy.
No, neither have I. But it actually did make me laugh that it's coming first for this month's on PlayStation.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about. Did you see how they released the numbers? Not only did I want to talk about Madden, but also no wonder they haven't brought out Grand Theft Auto 6 yet.
Yeah, it's still in the top 10.
It's still in the top 5.
But have you played the game, though? Like, it's an amazing game.
Well,
And,
not
they've just
after
released
however
the
many
casino.
years.
Yeah, but they've now released like a casino area. You can go and gamble. You can. They've just the online for Grand Theft Auto 5 is massive, and that's what's still sustaining it.
Oh, I don't know.
But even Crash Bandicoot, I didn't think Crash Bandicoot would still be up there in number 2 for this month for August.
Yeah, remember it's pretty like popular in that month. I don't know whether it will be there next month.
Yeah, because I've now got the
DLC stuff, the
yes
boxes.
loot boxes, beautiful.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Anthem, yeah. I think I traded mine in. I don't even know if I've got it here still. It could be hiding somewhere in my gaming room, but it was so bad. I'm pretty sure I actually I hate saying it was bad, It
Hey,
was.
but it's fun. It's done by the best developer. Come on,
Uh,
EA, get in the game.
you have physically never said their slogan properly.
What do you mean? What is it again? What is that?
EA Sports. It's in the game. Every single time. I've never heard you say it properly.
Okay, hang on. Wait for it. EA Sports.
You forgot it again, you dumb. God damn it. I'm
I
done.
did.
You're as good as EA. That's what you are. I have to pay extra for you to finish the saying.
I don't know what it is. I have a small attention span with that.
Go
But
to that.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's one. I don't know. Anyway, but even so, number 2, Crash Bandicoot. Number 3, Anthem. 4, Grand Theft Auto. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Number 5. But Mortal Kombat. You didn't say it was that. Well, it's. I was watching it as well, and I didn't think it was actually that good.
No, I thought it was good. It's just I'm not a fighter game player.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, obviously I was because I was always with family or friends, 2 brothers who were gamers. So of course I'd always play. But nowadays none of my friends play fighter games, and obviously I don't live with any family. So yeah, it wasn't a game
That's
where
always safe, isn't it?
it is. It's a lot safer. It wasn't a game where I would ever play on my own past the storyline. Like I finished the storyline, it was definitely good, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't be playing it on my own for hours on end.
Yeah, I've never played Horizon, so I'm moving on from that. Wolfenstein.
Hang on, what do you mean? Go back one.
Horizon?
Horizon Zero Dawn? Don't
Is that
try
what
to
it is?
say, oh,
Oh, yeah.
I never played Horizon, so move on
Well, I
from that.
haven't. Well, I
It's
haven't played it. So
literally
what I talk
one of the
about.
best-selling
It's
RPGs
number
of
7, mate. Move on.
PlayStation 4's lifespan. It got
It's like what
that
you do when you
many.
leave the day. You slap the day lid down and just friggin' press
Oh,
flush.
no way! It got tens, nines, like Kotaku's, IGN's.
Oh, there we go.
Actually,
Now we've got the
you're a
gods of the
PlayStation.
gamers.
You're a PlayStation guy now. I'm telling you, you can
I'm
get.
not a PlayStation guy. I'm an Xbox guy in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, well, that's one stretched sheepskin. That's for certain.
A little bit.
So go and get yourself Horizon Zero Dawn. If you like Assassin's Creed, I'm telling you now, go. You can get it for, geez, the full collectors because they released a DLC not long ago. You could probably get the full collectors for $50 at best. I'm telling you, as a PlayStation owner, you have to go and buy it.
Yeah, I was going to get Spider-Man the other day, and I lost motivation for it.
If I had my pick, I would definitely be getting.
I'm a Marvel person.
I'd definitely be getting Horizon over it.
Yeah, that's it. Wolfenstein. Shooter. Move on. Spider-Man. Well, now what's this Spider-Man? Weren't you telling me there's no load screens in Spider-Man?
No, I never told you that. You, being an Xbox player, want to hear whatever you want to hear. Now, they were doing comparison rates of load screens on PS4, PS4 Pro, and the PS5. The PS4, I think it was a load screen of 8 seconds, 8.8 seconds, and then they done the load screen on the PS5, and it was 0.8 of a second.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where the no load screen is, because PS5.
PS5.
Oh. See, that's how they trick you to get over and jump onto PlayStation. They tell you, oh, yeah, no load screens. Then you get there. No, that's the next console coming out, mate. Just chill.
Not one person told you that.
I hear what I want to hear. I'm not going to argue anymore. What about Red Dead Redemption 2? Have you played Part 1 or Part 2?
Yeah. But Red Dead Redemption 2, the one that just came out, is actually the prequel.
Yeah.
To Red Dead Redemption that came out back in the day.
Okay, so I'll ask the question again without the government official standing behind you. Have you played both those games?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I bought Part 2. I have never played Part 1. And it's currently sitting on my shelf where I think it will stay. I have not even put the disc in. I haven't even unsealed. And I
Oh,
got the metal case and everything, and yeah, no, I'm just, I don't know. I want a
you
small,
you churned hours into Grand Theft Auto 5.
easily.
It's Grand Theft Auto 5 as a cowboy.
Yeah, but your horses. What, can you shoot the other horses?
You can shoot anything that moves.
Oh, no.
Yeah, online you can rob people. You've got gangs. Like it's literally just Grand Theft Auto 5 as a cowboy.
Hmm. I haven't played it. I haven't played, like, as I said, I haven't even put it in, so I've seen a lot of trailers and I've seen a lot of gameplay, but yeah, never played it myself. Hmm.
Yeah, I admittedly like it was exactly like Grand Theft Auto 5 when it first came out. I was like, this is awesome. 10 hours, 15 hours. I was like, oh, just kidding. I've moved on.
Just kidding, I've moved on.
Yeah, no,
Mate,
it
I
was.
bought everything in the game in Grand Theft Auto. I love Grand Theft Auto 5.
It was
But
just
I don't play online.
well, I didn't play it online either.
Yeah. Because I don't like the idea of, like, I've played so much, and this is getting back to Ark as well. So Ark Park on VR. Like, you have a character that you're playing single player. If you go online, you are. I was just waiting for you to finish. If you go online, you don't have that single player character. See, all the stuff that you've been like grinding to get, like the different stones in Ark Park, or like the cash in Grand Theft Auto, or the buildings and whatever, and cars. As soon as you go online, it's like pressing reset and starting from the start.
But a
So,
lot of games are like that with online. I thought that's exactly what Grand Theft Auto does as well.
yeah, it is. That's what I mean, and that's why I don't play it, because like you have to grind in all those games massive amounts of hours to get anything anywhere, unless you want to pay, of course. But yeah, so like I don't know if I could. I don't know whether to just to start with online or just do the story mode. You know what I mean when you're playing those sort of games, because if you do online, well then okay, it's fine. It's all online anyway. But if the company stops the online servers, well then you lose your character anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Same as
I
character.
barely ever play online for anything really.
Yeah. And like that's what I did today. I played Ark Park multiplayer.
Yep.
Mind you, there's no one ever playing it unless you actually create it in the actual official group and set it at a certain time and all that. So I had one game and we played it for about an hour, and I'm like, I'm going back to play single player because it's the exact same game, except I've got none of my stuff that I've already got.
Actually, I forgot to talk about it. Remember I was saying before how they're remaking and giving us physical stuff? Did you see they re-released, like they said it was the first edition 20-year anniversary or something of Digimon?
Oh no. I don't know how many times they died for me. I could never get them to live past a couple of days.
Oh, I smashed Digimon when I was younger. It was, yeah,
That and Tamagotchi and
no, I wasn't the biggest Tamagotchi fan because you couldn't battle each other.
yeah,
Like,
I just like the battle concept where you connect them at the top.
yeah, but
Mm,
you used to have the cheat code, so if you lost, the other person's Digimon would die within a couple of hours.
really? Was there? Man,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
See, that's just that. Yeah, it's your personality completely cheating, 100% of the time.
Not, it's not cheating. It's just
Yeah, what is
making
it?
sure they don't beat anyone else after you.
No, didn't know that. Yeah, isn't you said that was JB, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was JBI brought him out.
So imagine being a collector for them. Like if you had them like last year and it was in a sealed box, like it would be worth how much were they selling for?
Oh, anywhere from sealed. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's big coin. Like unsealed, pretty much no battery in it. Everything was like $150, $180.
Yeah. So and then now overnight they've gone back to the Region 1. And I think they did that with Pokemon card game as well for the original set. They
Yeah.
re-released it. So then, like when it originally came out, oh man, I got a Charizard. Mind you, I still have the full collection. It was worth like $85. Now it probably wouldn't be worth anything because they re-release it, or it probably is, but yeah, not as much.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I'm as a collector, I'm not in it for the money, and that's why, like people who got all the mini Super Nintendos and that, and we're just trying to spend the money. It's like, well, that's on you. You should have like the scalpers.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, I know, but if you want, like exactly what I said, like if you're buying something, you do want to be worth eventually something because it's either going to be for your kids or your kids' kids, whatever, whoever sells it. But eventually, you will get rid of it. So if they are re-releasing things like that,
Yeah.
doing first editions, it does destroy the monetary value of that item overnight.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is pretty cool, and I will be going to pick one up.
Yeah. I just want it because I'll probably just sit it in my shelf that I was talking about. It just boom on the cupboard. Like I don't have to play it. I don't have to. Like I thought
don't
about
lie to yourself. You'll be going to exactly like me. You put one on the shelf and you'll be playing one.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I did. I thought about buying a couple for the kids, but the kids probably aren't old enough yet to truly like appreciate. Not appreciate.
Oh, you don't want it? Okay, I'll have it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna. I nearly because I think at not EB Games, JB they're $40 each. So I nearly bought 4 of them, so then everyone can play. But it's $160, and they're at the age where they'd probably die within a couple of days. They probably wouldn't play enough.
Yeah.
So I was like, stuff it. I might just buy one and just sit it in the cupboard.
Yeah, fair enough. But no, I've got nothing else this week except for my lovely VR.
That's it. We'll see how my EB Games. I've been trying to be a good boy because I'm renovating at home, but we'll see how eBay and EB treat me this week. I might have some spontaneous purchases for next week that I can share.
All I can say is I hope I don't.
Well,
otherwise, you'll be finding me in a morgue for sure.
I'm currently renovating my house, and it's like I've got. For any of the listeners, I live on not a vast amount of land. It's 10 acres.
Mr. Stevenson. 10 acres.
Yeah, it's 10 acres. It's not massive, but for where I live, it's a fair bit of land. So I have a shipping container, and that's got a lot of my stuff in it because it's safer there than getting anywhere near parents, etc. Because every time I seem to turn my back, stuff's gone. I'm like, where the hell is that gone? Where's this gone? And it always seems to disappear when I'm not looking. So
I've got no idea where it went. Or they go, I donated it.
Yeah. So now I've got a shipping container, and it's got a box in it, and it's got a PlayStation 1, a PlayStation 2, 3, an Xbox, Sega Mega Drive. That's where all my consoles are. Some of the games, some of the collector games, and it's all in that container. But I want to have it where I can. Well,
you just don't invite the parents over, I think.
Just
stay out. Just like when you're a kid, just stay out of my room. Now stay out of my house.
Tried that. They're still just like, we need to clean, and then boom, it's gone. Off to a home you go.
Off to a home. No, that's great.
No, that's about it for me this week.
All right, guys. Well, just remember to like, subscribe, and comment on this podcast. And just remember also, it will never be game over.
And the game has got a game.